the best omelet in the world, according to this dumb little YouTube short thing. It was a man of age, so I implicitly respected his opinion for no reason. I don't know who he is.
He had a magnificent beard.
He did. He looked like he knew what a good omelet was, and he described what sounds like a terrible omelet.
He did. It sounded awful, in fact.
So the recipe that I tried was you take one egg, and then you get a 1 spoonful, I'm sure that's a scientific term, of mayonnaise, and then you put that in the egg.
Well, a tablespoon would be 1 spoonful, because the assumption is they're getting a tablespoon, otherwise they'd specify teaspoon.
I used any spoon. That was my measurement.
Which would be a tablespoon.
I grabbed the any spoon, which from the drawer, and I plopped in some mayo, and I whisked it together. And then you take a little bit of oil, or in my case, I used a little tiny pat of butter, and I plopped that in there and into a slurry, microwave for 40 seconds, pop some pepper and salt on top. Holy shit. This omelet ruled.
I don't believe him.
It was great. I expected it to taste like mayo. No. It tastes like eggs turned up to 11.
Wow.
Like a really intense egg flavor.
This is the second dish where you would add mayo, and I think it would not make it good, and it makes it better. The first one I know of being grilled cheese.
Yeah.
What's mayo made out of?
It's just egg and oil. And then I add more. And then the recipe calls for it. And then you add another egg and some more oil. And then you microwave that. I put it in a mug. I did all of this in a coffee cup because I was like, in the event that this ruins a dish, I want it to be something that I could conceivably just smash outside. Just be like, you betrayed me for the last time, Internet!
Just huck that shit off your balcony. Be gone!
Yeah. But it was delicious. Holy cow.
Yeah, microwave is really underrated. People think you can't make, actual food in there. You can.
It was fluffy. It was silky. The flavor was immaculate.
Okay, alright. I'm gonna have to try it one of these days.
Highly recommend it.
And with that, welcome back to Scryer's Room. I am your host, Famfare.
I'm Kevin.
I'm Mario.
And if you enjoy the nature of this content, you can go and give us a like and subscribe on Blue Sky. You can go and give us a like and subscribe on YouTube, and you can support us on our Patreon.
Speaking of foodstuffs, we're getting into the Sanji arc of the One Piece reread today.
Yes, sir.
All right, I'll get right into it because this is a good one, I think. So this is the end of the Syrup Island arc. Miss Kaya, the wealthy woman that Usopp was sort of romance and friend style with, gives the Straw Hats their iconic ship, the Going Merry, Merry Go, or just Merry, depending on the translation that you're getting. But it's a wonderful little cartoony ship with a little ram's head.
It's adorable.
It's adorable.
There's a tree on it, I think.
I don't remember that.
Is that, or is that?
I think that's the
Sunny?
next one. The Sunny.
Okay.
Once they're on the sea in their new ship with their new shipmate, Luffy, being an inquisitive soul, begins firing the cannons on the ship to try to learn how to aim them. This won't come up again. Cannon warfare isn't a big part of the Straw Hats arsenal.
He's still figuring out his universe at this point. That's a very pirate thing to do.
But Luffy would absolutely do this. Yeah.
Yeah. It's although the Sunny isn't that big.
No, it's
or the Mary. Sorry.
It's a cartoonishly tiny ship. It's adorable.
Yeah, it's cute.
It looks like it's a Disney ship.
It's adorable. I love it.
Luffy cannot aim this thing for crap. He's not good at aiming cannons. So Usopp gets to show off his sharpshooter skills. He points at a rock in the distance that Luffy was trying to aim at, and he's like, keep your eyes on that boulder. And he shoots this rocky outcropping in the sea. And it blows up, and everyone's like, wow, you're so cool. Ha ha ha, we love our new crew member. And then a few minutes later, a guy, comes out of the sea and, climbs on board their ship, with a sword all pissed off. Because me and my sick friend were on that rock, trying to enjoy the last minutes of dwindling life he had left. Because we were just in the middle of the sea on a rock with no ship. So obviously we were in the middle of dying. And before Luffy his immediate reaction was, oh, time to beat him to death. Time to finish these guys off.
As we do.
Before Luffy gets to do that, Zoro is like, oh, these guys are actually kind of chill. This is Yosaku and Johnny. These guys were... Johnny! But back in his pirate hunting days, these guys saw Zoro as like their respected older brother. They use Aniki like they're all Yakuza guys.
Like a month ago.
God bless.
They see Zoro as their respected senior. But sadly, Yosaku is dying. It's horrible. He's got no strength. His teeth are falling out, and all his old scars are reopening. And if you already all know the diagnosis of this, I still have something to share with you because it ties in. The thing I want to talk about with the Sanji arc is theme. When you're writing your story, it has component parts. I touched on that a little bit last time with character, theme, setting, plot, and story, and they all inform each other. And Usopp's arc, I think, showed how a character flaw can like spread throughout each of them and inform the story. It did it really well, I thought. This time we're talking theme, which is broadly speaking what the work is saying. Theme is like the most intuitive storytelling tool, I think, because even if like an amateur like makes something with no intention, there's still a theme to it. The story you told about the jerk you saw or interacted with, the theme of that story was people shouldn't behave like that. We almost can't help keeping theme involved. It's one of the ways that we see the universe. But I believe deliberate work is also the best work, and One Piece is quite deliberate. And that deliberate nature is shown here because Nami, who has actually learned a little bit about sailing, rarer than you'd hope on this pirate ship, she can tell you that Yosaku has scurvy. Obviously. It's a disease brought on by a deficiency in vitamin C. The character's bad diet is to blame here. They pour a gallon of lime juice into his idiot head, and he's back on his feet, ready to lead the Straw Hats to the next plot line. Isn't that all fun?
Fun on a bun.
This is also the scene where a lot of people will say that Luffy foreshadows a good deal of like the future Straw Hat members, and we get to see like the kinds of people that Luffy thinks are most important, because he's immediately like, we need a musician, and we need a chef, and then literally anyone else is like, and we need like a shipwright, and like
a doctor.
And he's like, we need tunes and we need food. But at the mention of needing a chef, Yosaku and Johnny inform them of the Barati, a floating restaurant near the Grand Line where pirates and Marines alike eat. They even say that the greatest swordsman in the world, Hawkeye Mihawk, has been known to dine there. Interesting. Zoro's interested. And when we get there, we meet the Marine Minister, Lieutenant Iron Fist Fullbody, who has bolts in his fucking knuckles.
Sick nasty.
It's pretty sick. I presume the large number of body modifications in these early Marines is like indicative of the future endeavors of the world government, making cyborgs and clones and shit. Because that's where this ends up being. We stop seeing guys with axe hands and start seeing guys with lasers.
Okay. Well, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I imagine at first
in its own way.
It's like, isn't that real scary?
Yeah.
The big Marine guy, who,
Yeah.
If you can imagine him approaching civilians, like the dude with brass knuckles bolted onto his goddamn knuckles.
It's pretty intimidating.
Yeah.
He beats up Yosaku and Johnny, which makes him at least as strong as 1.5 men, given that Yosaku is still quite scurvied. He fires a cannonball at the Straw Hats, seeing like they're pirates, and he's like, "You guys pirates?" And they're like, "We're totally pirates. We just started." And so he's like, "All right, fire the cannons. I have a dinner reservation to get to." And Luffy sees a cannonball coming to the ship. He does what he always does. He inflates like a balloon and he bounces that shit away. But oh shit! This time, it bounced wrong. He didn't get the Marine ship. It hit the restaurant ship.
Oh no.
That's what we call an oopsie daisy.
Which the restaurant is like, how would you describe that? It's like a floating, almost like it's like what, like octagonal or sort of like it's somewhat circular.
At first, it's built very much like literally a restaurant, floating impossibly on the water, with like a very small deck area outside, like a patio outside of like a friggin' Olive Garden. And then when the fight gets started, it's revealed that down underneath all of that, like a fin extending down below the waters, are two like clamshelled decks that rise up so that there's a big fighting platform in case things get rowdy.
Oh, okay. Yeah, good anime style.
Extremely anime.
If I had to like try to logic this like with like restaurant, in mind, that's for weekends.
Yeah.
You set up the extra tables outside.
Yeah.
And it's also outside dining on the sea. Come on, that's like worth premium, right?
I like it. I buy it.
And it's
Very anime.
I mean, it is pretty sick. Unfortunately, a good deal of One Piece is pretty sick despite how silly it is.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
And a lot of it just gets like, and that didn't matter. Cool though, right?
Pretty cool.
So inside we get to meet Sanji, who's, currently waiting the tables, and he schools Lieutenant Fullbody because Lieutenant Fullbody was trying to act like he was a wine connoisseur, like, oh, I recognize this wine from and Sanji hates that fake shit. So, but what he hates more than anything is wasting food. So Lieutenant Fullbody, seeking revenge for the embarrassment of Sanji being like, that's not that kind of wine. You don't know what you're talking about. You're just trying to impress your date. He put a fly in his soup, and it's like, waiter, there's a fly in my soup. And Sanji essentially gets set up for the ultimate, like, waiter line, because he's like, waiter, what is this fly doing in my soup? And Sanji responds, well, it appears to be the backstroke, sir.
Oh.
Knocked it out of the park.
Oh.
Fullbody not liking this slam dunk, completely smashes the table and spills the soup everywhere. To which, Sanji's like, you could have eaten that soup. You pick out that fly, it was perfectly fine soup. And I know that I didn't bring it out with a fly, so either a fly landed in it, unlikely, we're in the middle of the fucking ocean, we don't have a lot of flies, or you put a fly in it, and now you've wasted all that soup. And so the next page has Sanji dangling a bloody Marine by holding him up by his face. And Sanji beats ass quite regularly, turns out. It's actually really damaging the business side of this, that he regularly will beat the ass of any Marine lieutenant who's wasting food.
A regular occurrence.
Yes.
Or if you're rude to women.
God, if you're rude to women.
Oh, chivalrous.
Yeah, well, it's because like
he's also crazy horny. So.
Yeah, I remember that being the case.
Well,
He's
like,
a horn dog.
that was like part of it, is because like he also like ruined his own date. The guy.
Yeah.
Like
he did. He not only embarrassed himself, he embarrassed the lady. It was awful. It was a bad situation all around. So obviously, I had to kick him bloody with my crazy kickboxing chef powers.
As one does.
So we go back to Luffy, who is trying to apologize for the cannonball, but the damage is actually quite severe and also literally hit their head chef right in the head.
Oof.
The head chef is fine, though. He only has one leg, but a deflected cannonball isn't enough to slow down this old Zeph. That's the head chef's name, Head Chef Zeph. I presume that that's a translation issue and not just he was like, and fuck it, the head chef's name is Zeph. Maybe there's a pun at work.
Maybe it's intentional, but I don't know.
Maybe it's intentional. Who can say? In order to pay off the debt, he says Luffy would have to work here for 1 year without pay, which Luffy refuses right on its face. Like, that's absolutely not happening.
Yeah, not happening.
But he is willing to, I'll work for a week without pay, which is also flatly declined by Zeph. He's like, no, not a week. You destroyed a part of my building and almost killed me. And Luffy's like, you're fine. I don't know why you guys are so mad.
No harm, no foul.
It's a beautiful sunny day, and I'm letting in more light. The argument ends up spreading down into the dining room. Literally, he kicks Luffy through the floor into the dining room.
Nice.
And leading to Zeph trying to scold Sanji for beating up customers. Another one of the cooks, Patty, says the customers are king. And the Marine is threatening to ruin this place. I'll see all of you. You never work in this town again. This ocean is going to be without you immediately. Becomes a real clusterfuck. Excellent character-driven drama. A lot of characters throwing each other under the bus. A lot of people really letting their feelings be heard. And then we're away from that because immediately the prisoner that was in the ship that Iron Fist full body had escaped. And he's just shooting Marines and shit with a gun. And he breaks into the restaurant. He sits down at one of the tables and is like, I need food. They've been starving me down there in the brig. But I can't pay. And remember the guy who was like, the customer is king? As soon as that guy sat down and was like, I'm starving, he was like, well, what can I get for you, sir? And I can't pay. He immediately beats his ass and throws him outside because you're not a customer if you can't pay.
Yeah, that's true. He's not wrong.
He kicks deadbeat ass. But even when thrown out, Sanji comes up to this starving man and offers him food. Food that he cooked personally. So it's good, right? And they have like a nice little scene together. And Luffy smells good deeds like that, like a shark smells blood in the water. And right there decides, I'm taking this motherfucker with me. This is a good guy.
Aw, wholesome.
Very wholesome.
And he cooks great food and he can kick the shit out of people. Literally,
Yeah. So they explain a bit about the Barati and its weird shape. But also that it's specifically head chef Zeph's treasure, and all the rowdy pirate types come through here, so it's chaotic, but it's a home that the similarly rowdy types who have come here to work have, they found a home they couldn't find anywhere else. And Luffy is like, Sanji, please come join my crew. And Sanji flatly declines immediately. And
I ain't doing that shit.
Mirroring the conversation with Zeph earlier, Luffy refuses that refusal. And during this conversation, that starving pirate, who names himself as Gin, explains he works under a pirate called Don Krieg. And we're informed here that Krieg was essentially the strongest active pirate in East Blue, commanding an armada of 5,000 pirates.
Holy fuck, dude.
And this,
some real fucking numbers.
And this guy, Gin, was important enough to merit personal capture and imprisonment. Luffy basically is like, that's sick, I love pirates. And it's like, I'm going to be the Pirate King. Did you know about that? And I'm going to get the One Piece. It's going to be great. I'm going to be the boss of Grand Line. It's going to be awesome. And Gin begs him, don't go to the Grand Line. It's too much. It's a fucking nightmare. And evidently Luffy didn't care about that opinion because he doesn't ask for any further explanation. He's like, moving on. Luffy's a chore boy for now, and the other Straw Hats come in to have a nice meal. Isn't that great? Come to visit their friend at work and just sort of lord over him for a little bit.
Fun.
We've tried to do that with you a few times, working at the restaurant. It's a good bit, unfortunately. Come bother your friend at work.
Always a good time.
But, we get some great character interactions, establishing dynamics through some of the Straw Hats. Zoro doesn't mind trolling Luffy a bit, but he knows Luffy is petty as hell, and they get into a bit where Luffy, puts a booger in Zoro's water, and he's like, that's wonderful, I'm so thirsty. But you look even thirstier being a chore boy all day. Why don't you drink it, motherfucker? They get into a little wrestle. It's fun. It's great. And Sanji is extremely particular and immediately butts heads with Usopp for not wanting to eat his mushrooms. But luckily, he's so easily manipulated by Nami that it all works out and nobody gets hurt. The dynamic is so wonderful that Zeph basically comments, if you want to go be a pirate, I think you should go with these guys. They're pretty cool, and you seem like you get along really well. And Sanji refuses that, saying, this is where he belongs. Fuck you, old man. I won't do what you tell me. Also, is there anything else I can do for you, chef?
Yes, chef.
It's literally like, their dynamic.
No, sir. Yes, chef.
Yeah, it's like, go fuck yourself. You don't tell me what to do. I love you.
But like every conversation, it becomes like, you should do this. One party refuses. The other party refuses that refusal. Very little gets to come of it.
Fun little dynamic.
Materially. Until 2 days later, the ravaged flagship of the Don Krieg pirates arrives, and Don Krieg limps in, begging for food. He says he has money, more money than they could ever ask for, but he is dying of starvation. Sanji's spidey sense tingles, and he brings a meal out to the man immediately. He's hungry, and Sanji doesn't abide leaving a man hungry when it is within his power to change that. That is like a key portion of who Sanji is.
Wholesome.
Very wholesome. Even Luffy's like, that's why I'm stealing you, my man. That's so cool. Even though even Luffy at this point is like, that's very stupid. That guy's clearly evil.
And the what remains of his crew are also like starving, right?
Everyone is starving. Yeah.
They do the whole like, which real shit. People had to do this. Where like, you know, they boiled all the leather they had,
all
so
their
they
boots,
could eat it.
Yeah.
Or like they started drinking seawater and going insane. You know.
It was a bad time.
Yeah.
I remember seeing a product that was like a shoe polish that was specifically made so that it wouldn't be toxic if you had to boil your shoes.
That's a valuable kind of shoe polish to make.
It is for a frontiersman. Like, that's gangbusters. Yeah.
So unfortunately for Sanji, who is now fully fed this man, and we get to see him as like every bite he takes, Don Krieg inflates more and more. He's like getting healthier by the bite.
He's got the One Piece like gigantism.
Yeah.
Like not like he's not like really big, but
he's not ethnically a giant, but he is like 8 or 9 feet tall because he's that strong, and that's a thing in One Piece sometimes.
Yeah, I love how they just have ethnic giants.
Yeah, there are giants. He isn't one, but he is pretty big.
I think he's the largest so far.
He is certainly the largest person that we've seen so far. So we get a bit of Don Krieg backstory now. Known as Foul Play Krieg, Betrayer Krieg, and Dirty Trick Krieg. A pirate who got his start by dominating a prison, orchestrating his way onto a Navy ship, where he killed all the men on board and took that ship as his own. He was known to fly a naval flag or even a white flag to safely port, and then he would really pirate the hell out of that town, just completely pillaging and ravaging. And as his stomach fills and Don Krieg raises up, he immediately punches Sanji right in his idiot face. Like, you fool, now I've returned to my full power after eating 1 plate of chickeny rice. It was the best chickeny rice he'd ever had. So Gin, who brought him there, is like, you said you wouldn't do this again. And Krieg is like, I lied. I'm a liar. I lie all the time. Shut up. I'm the boss of you, and this restaurant belongs to me now. So I have 100, and he turns to the chefs, and he's like, I have 100 guys on my ship who haven't quite yet starved to death. So bring us 100 meals so that my men may have the strength to pillage you all properly.
God bless.
Sanji is the only one who's like, well, I guess I gotta head to the kitchen then.
Wow, man of his ethics. Man of his code.
That's 100 starving people.
Yeah, he has to save them. He's a good boy. Wow.
He doesn't care about good guys or bad guys. He just knows those guys are hungry and cooks feed people.
Yeah, which, you know, it doesn't mean, like, I'll feed you. It doesn't mean I'm not going to kick your ass.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. You shouldn't be starving.
Yeah.
But then I can kick your teeth in after you're done starving.
Yeah, I just got to make sure you're
starving.
well fed, then I'm going to beat the hell out of you.
Yeah. So Sanji goes to try to gather these meals, and his co-workers, they're completely flabbergasted by this behavior. So as soon as he goes to the kitchen, they club him on the back of the head and hold him down. Like, you're not giving him 100 meals, asshole! What the hell's wrong with you? And they all pull their guns because all these chefs are strapped. By the way, they're just like, yeah, we fight pirates all the time.
They came loaded.
I think I made this comparison in one of the earlier ones, but the Zeph is basically like that classic, like restaurant dude who gives ex-cons a shot.
He absolutely is.
Yeah.
In fact, like the little bit of backstory we get to see at the end of like the other chefs that we get to meet shows explicitly that is exactly what happens. Mm-hmm. It's great. Zeph's a cool guy.
Pretty cool guy.
So once they all pull their guns on him, we get to see Don Krieg's big gimmick. That he is an absolute arsenal. He's pretty big, and at least strong enough physically to like punch ships and things and like cause damage. Like he's as strong as Luffy conceivably is, just regular punching strength. But he doesn't have the law on his side, or a devil fruit, or what might have been Haki, depending on your interpretation of Kuro. What he has is a suit of armor, and from it, basically a panel of guns come from like between every piece, and he shoots every chef who is standing up to him. He just like real quick Iron Man's that shit.
Oh man, holy shit.
Yeah, it's Oof.
That's like his whole thing is he spent like a bunch of his money on just having like
An Iron Man
like
suit.
yeah like all these like gimmick armor and like gadgets and weapons and shit.
And he has a lot of them that all do different, pretty unique, interesting things. I really enjoyed it.
Like an evil Inspector Gadget.
Okay, yeah, that's kind of sick. That's a fun one.
Like, he's not a cyborg or anything, but like the way he just like whips shit out is like
yeah, he's a gadgeteer kind of guy, gadget hero,
Yeah.
or villain in this case.
A real dirty trickster with a mind for gadgets. So we get to hear from him that head chef Zeph used to be a pirate called Red Shoes Zeph, or Red Leg, depending on your translation. He was famous for being a cook and kicking people to death, and being able to
Brutal.
kick so hard that after he killed you with his kick, behind you there would be a footprint in the metal.
Oh man.
And he was in Grand Line for a time. He was a pirate that actually made it there and survived. In fact, he stayed there a whole year. And he kept a log of that place. And Don Krieg knows he kept a log. So he wants it. He can attempt it again. He's going back. Don Krieg, would claim the One Piece. And Luffy doesn't let that statement go unchallenged just because he has guns pointed at everyone in the room. He's immediately like, actually, I'm going to claim One Piece and be Pirate King. It's
That's the point of the show.
I'm Luffy. This is my manga, unfortunately. And so he's ready to throw hands now. And Zoro is like, oh shit, are we fighting, boss? And Luffy is like, nah. I'll beat his ass myself. You just relax, my man. And that's kind of important. Zeph gives the food to Don Krieg here. He comes out of the back with 100 meals in a bag. A nondescript bag, presumably filled with dry grains and things. But like a bag that contains ostensibly 100 meals. He's like, take it back to your men. And everyone's like, but boss! And he's like, they're gonna fucking take it anyway, and I can't abide seeing people starve. Sanji and Zeph have this in common.
Wholesome.
Krieg says, anyone who doesn't, swim away or whatever by the time I get back is either going to be part of my crew or I might just kill you, just for fun. I am a bad guy, and you all should know that. I'll be back in 30 minutes when everybody's finished replenishing their HP. And Gin stays behind apologizing, on behalf of his captain who he loves. Don, quote, I love tricking people with sympathy, Krieg.
God bless.
And we learned that the Krieg pirates were actually wiped out, not by a typhoon like everybody has been assuming. Everyone thought, they couldn't hack the sailing portion. And that's why they, are starving right now. They failed that part. But it wasn't a storm that wiped out the Krieg pirates. It was a single man. The Hawkeye. Which, by the way, Johnny lied about Hawkeye Mihawk coming to this restaurant a lot. He's just a liar, turns out. He's sorry about it. He was like, the other option was what? Beg for my life on your ship and be like, can I have a bed, please? I tricked you into getting me to a place that maybe I wouldn't be totally homeless. I could, get a rowboat from here or something. Which, everyone's pretty understanding about. We're pirates.
Yeah, we're kind of scoundrels like that.
The chefs, now realizing that that food's going directly into pirates who are coming here to rob our home from us. Not figuratively our home where it's like, but it's the place we belong. Literally, they live here on the ocean in a restaurant.
Yeah.
The only other option is go swimming. So they prepare to fight. And they prepare to fight the way that any chef would, by getting out their comically large forks, knives, and spoons.
Oh my god, yes. That's so dumb. I love that.
Pot shields and
yeah, it's very funny. But in the middle of this, everyone's getting prepared. We get a flash of the Don Krieg pirates. Literally, all of them are like, my evil is returning, my master, yes! and we get a little bit of tension of oh man, it's going to be a pitched fight between the chefs and the pirates. And then the Don Krieg ship gets cut completely in half. Just completely, oh my god! Ah! There's a wave, tips almost the restaurant over. Everybody's like, what the hell's going on? And Luffy and Zoro and Usopp run out and they see oh my god, that might have knocked over our ship. Let's see what's going on out there. And at first they're like, oh no, our ship. It must have been destroyed. Well, it wouldn't have capsized. That's it in the distance. What the hell? And they see Yosaku and Johnny drowning in the sea, and they pull him out again, and they're like, she got us, bro. She took the whole ship and all of our shit. And they're like, what the hell are you talking about? Speak sense. And we get a little flashback of, Nami went back onto their ship when everybody went to go
that
eat.
bitch. Ooh.
So you remember how before...
Cat burglar Nami.
You remember before how everyone was like, you're right, we should all go onto the ship to enjoy a nice meal to taunt Luffy.
Yeah.
But it's a restaurant ship that therefore costs money, right?
Yeah.
Do you really think Nami was like, yeah, I'll pay for you guys, and then was gonna? No, she got him to go into the restaurant so she could steal all their shit.
Yep. There you go. Yep.
Literally,
Wow. Great job.
while they're eating, she's on the ship dragging Yosaku and Johnny's belongings from the little dinghy that they were preparing for them into, like, essentially, like, just a big bag with dollar signs on it. And they're like, what are you doing? And she's like, well, you guys are probably going to be sticking around for a little while, right? And they're like, well, I guess it wouldn't be so bad, hang out with Zoro again. And she's like, that's so cool. By the way, I'm going to change my shirt. Could you guys turn around for a second? Right over here by this railing? And they're like, oh my. And they don't question it at all. And they turn around facing the sea, and she pushes their dumbasses into the drink.
Get wrecked.
Yeah, they do the fucking
Shucks.
Well, no, it's like all but the wolf thing,
Yeah.
like the eyes popping.
Cartoon wolf. Yeah. Good. Oh, manga.
Yeah. So they see, like, Zoro jumps immediately to, she's too far gone, we'll never catch her. Despite the fact they can still see the ship, like, in the distance. It's not even, like, near the horizon. It's sailing away, but it's powered by wind. Ships don't go, like, it's not a Ferrari.
Yeah.
It goes, like, a little bit faster than walking, but over the water where you can't walk. That's why it's so good.
Yeah.
So Luffy insists, nah, man, this is just part of the plot. Don't worry about it. We'll get Nami. But she's definitely going to be the navigator. Don't worry. I've read ahead already. I already know. But you guys do follow her so that we, like, know where she's going. But before the rest can give chase for Nami, he arrives. Hawkeye Mihawk, the greatest swordsman in the world. He's riding a ship shaped like a coffin, with a Dracula throne in it, with candle lighting that have evil green candle
He's
flames.
a Dracula man?
He's a sexy goth dilf, shirtless in a duster with a musketeer hat.
Holy shit, I didn't know that.
Mac from Always Sunny would love this guy.
And he's got the
Van Dyke,
what's the I would call it like the D'Artagnan.
Yeah.
From like Three Musketeers, the Three Musketeers
man.
type.
God
Yeah.
That
bless.
swashbuckler, mustache.
and the most intense eyes in the game.
Of course he does.
And yeah, his literal hawk eyes.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Which also use the same visual language as when one uses Conqueror's Haki. Later in the series, we will find out that black blades are potentially created by somebody focusing their Haki into a blade for a long period of time, but mostly people that are able to use Conqueror's Haki. Is all of this established here? No, not at all. He probably just reused the same visual language. Pretty cool, though, right?
Yeah.
Makes it all seem like it fits together really well.
That's using what you have.
Exactly.
Perfect example of using what you have.
So, another thing, I brought it up a couple of times in the previous reread episodes. We don't know what peak Zoro looks like yet. And neither does he, apparently. He's either fully outclassing his opponents or crippled in a near career-ending way, but still pulling out the wins. His aim to become the greatest swordsman is pinned on fighting this exact man who is in front of him. And that's why he's even on the seas to begin with. Like, he could just be like a weird sword monk if he wanted to be like the best at sword fighting. But no, he wants to beat this hot topic swordsman motherfucker. He's going to prove he's the best. So, I said earlier that Luffy's told Zoro to stand down, and that was important. Because right now, we have Zoro, well-fed, well-rested, No fighting has been done yet for Zoro. He is unhurt, ready to fight, at peak form. And he challenges Hawkeye Mihawk. And Mihawk says, we don't have to have a problem right now. I can tell that you know I'm stronger. We don't, like, it can, like,
we don't gotta do this right now, man. I don't gotta do this to you right now.
To which Zoro started talking extreme shit.
Oh, honey. Oh, baby. Don't do that.
Yep. So Mihawk at this point does what is his most infamous thing now, which is he's like, fine, then I'll fight you. And he pulls out the tiniest little baby knife from a little cross necklace on his neck. Like a cross, like a crucifix that you can wear around your neck that contains a tiny blade that conceivably you couldn't cut someone's finger off with it. It's hilarious.
That's so insulting.
It's a letter opener.
Oh, honey. Oh, he's gonna end this man's whole career before it even starts.
Yeah. He straight up is just like,
"Aw, baby.
Look, I don't mean to be an asshole, but it's not worth it for me to like
The humbler.
draw my
Yeah.
sword." So
I know I did that to break up the ship. I was doing that mostly for aura farming reasons. Not
Yeah,
like,
100% or
I didn't have to do that, obviously. I chased these guys out of Grand Line. So he tries to explain again to Zoro. By the way, Mihawk is a man of extreme patience now that I'm rereading it. In my original read, I was like, oh, Mihawk shows up, fucks up Zoro, fucks off. He is trying to talk Zoro out of this fight at every turn. He basically says to him, I get it, but you guys are still in East Blue, which is the weakest sea. You guys haven't even done one training arc yet. You're trying to like step to a perfect cell right now when you've only beaten Emperor Pilaf.
Yeah, dude, you're not even in the fucking... You're barely in the Little Leagues.
Yeah. No one even has a Kamehameha yet.
Yeah, not even kind of.
They're just really just punching each other and...
Luffy's ultimate move right now is inflating to stop cannonballs.
Yeah. It's a good move.
It's a good move, but that's about it, though. And it worked against swordsmen.
Yeah. So, Zoro is hilariously dominated in this fight. While we get flashes of backstory reminding us of his motivation and who he is and who he was the pirate hunter, the second best after Kuina, third best if we count the stairs she fell down. He would rather die than give up. And Mihawk sees that, and he respects it. He gives him the gamer to casual handicap. I will sit here while you charge up and do your best move, and then I will beat you. And Zoro's like, fucking piece of shit swordsman. He gets ready to do his big move. They clash, and Zoro's two non-mouth swords get shattered. He turns to face Mihawk again before he's slashed, as a wound on the back would be shameful for a swordsman. And Mihawk cuts him down. He didn't kill him, though. He cut the shit out of him in a way that would kill, like, a regular guy. But if you're a bad enough dude, you'll be fine.
Yeah, and Zoro's a bad enough dude.
And he gave him the honor of doing it.
With his big sword. Not the baby knife.
After doing the swordsman, like, what's your name, kid?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
I'll be sure to remember.
That's very, very anime.
It's
very
extremely
manga.
anime.
Yeah, that's very shonen.
Yes.
I can see the appeal of One Piece.
Yeah. He can tell that Zoro's gonna be good, and he says, "Get better, kid, and I'll see you again on the seas." And he's like, "Away!" And he tries to leave, and
What a call to action.
and Luffy immediately is like, "You ain't going nowhere, bitch. You don't cut down my man." And then once somebody pulls Zoro out of the ocean and like he's bleeding out, but he's not dead yet. And then he immediately abandons the fight. He's like, "All right, you can go now. I just thought my friend was dead." And then once he makes sure that Zoro's all right, he's kind of like, "Okay, this is how this is supposed to go." But Zoro at this point sort of breaks emotionally. He doesn't want to fail Luffy, and by failing himself, really. And he promises he will never lose again. That is the big promise that he makes tearfully as he has to accept his first loss. And for some reason, when Mihawk is like, "Nice, that's good character development, time to go," Krieg decides he wants to take a swing at him too.
Oh my god.
But Mihawk, unfortunately, informs him he's already done all the plot relevant things until Marineford that he's been allotted. He's got to go. So he just does a Batman vanish where he just like splashes up water and then he's suddenly gone. In spite of the fact that his ship explicitly was a slow-moving coffin. When you're goth like that, you got powers.
So he just vanishes?
Yeah.
Does his ship just stay there, or is it fuck off?
His ship is gone. He's into
Did the ship vanish too?
Yeah.
Into the night?
He's just gone.
Okay.
He's the greatest swordsman in the world, you know.
Pretty good move.
Yeah.
If I'm remembering right, I think in the anime they have Krieg try to like blast him.
He does, yeah.
Okay, yeah. And
He's such a good swordsman, he can cut himself out of the scene.
well,
He basically does. He cuts it with a sword, and then that scene is over, so we need to move on.
Oh my god.
It's a good
A
move.
blade that can cut the narrative.
yeah. And if I remember how they do it in the show, it's like he shoots it, and then he just sort of like grabs his sword and is just like, you never learn, and then it's like, then he's just gone.
Yeah.
Pretty sick nasty.
So, during the ensuing by the way, that all happens as like an aside, and then it's like, okay, Usopp, Yosaku, Johnny, you follow Nami, and then there's a whole other plot we have to get back to
Yeah,
here
they street
with Sanji. So
this bitch.
Yeah.
Can't be trusted.
So you guys do that, but we got to go back to this Sanji business. And we get some combat between the Krieg pirates who survived and the cooks on the Barati. We get a few interesting things. I can't go into all of them, but like the thing that we start to see here, Sanji in most arcs gets paired up against what is generally like the third toughest threat. He's really strong, but he's like Zoro and Luffy are the number one and two.
One of them too. Yeah.
But power levels aren't really a thing in One Piece, so your mileage may vary about like, oh, well, who is stronger? It depends on the scene and motivation, like I've been describing.
Yeah.
So this time we get to meet Pearl, who is the strongest defender in Krieg's pirates. And like the Don himself, this guy wears some kind of weird pirate power armor deal, which is just made out of big plates that have pearls that spew fire out of them.
Okay. That's pretty sick.
Which he generates by like banging them or something.
Yeah. Somehow he gained this power by growing up in the jungle, like a Tarzan. I don't know. That's not really relevant. It doesn't come up, and neither does he, really, in any meaningful way. Because Sanji reminds us that cooking is literally like dealing with fire all day.
Yeah.
So he kicks the shit out of him. It wasn't even really that hard.
Got his ass.
But then, oh no, we hear from the actual Barati restaurant, Gin has broken Zeph's peg leg and is holding the head chef at gunpoint. Fuck off or else, Sanji. And Sanji's like, I'm not abandoning this ship. So Pearl is like, well, then I'll beat you to death. And like, they're all like, well, I guess that's what's happening then, because he just starts beating the shit out of Sanji. Which is a good little chance for us to get the flashback. One Piece loves a flashback, establish motivations.
All shonens do.
It's great. One Piece does them really well because, as I said, theme is what we're focusing on in this episode. And the theme of this entire arc is, like, exemplified through this flashback and the finale of the actual fight. So, you see, back in the day, Sanji was once a little apprentice cook on a ship. Looks to be some sort of pleasure cruise type rich people yacht. And then there were leftovers on a plate. He'd wastefully scrape them into the trash. But he has a dream. To find the all blue. See, the world is broken up into 4 seas by the Grand Line and the Red Line, and each of those have different biomes of fish. But there's said to be a 5th sea, called the All Blue, where fish from all over the world can be caught all together. A treasure for an ocean chef, able to make any seafood dish. New flavors and combinations that you couldn't have before. So, during this explanation of his dream, a storm hits, but also the chef pirate Red Shoes Zeph has boarded the luxury craft. Desperately defending his life with his cooking knives, Zeph tries to shut this kid up from yelling about his dreams all the time, because he's like, I'm robbing you right now.
Yeah.
And he's like, you guys are gonna kill me, but I'm gonna find the all blue! And he's like, okay, but like, those knives are really valuable, and I want them. We're pirates right now. And Sanji, like a guy comes up like, hey, kid, you're going to hurt someone with those knives. We already said we weren't killing nobody on this ship. And Sanji's like, you're liars! And he slashes them with a cooking knife. And all the pirates are like, Zeph, this kid's a real asshole. They don't even kill him. Like, Zeph just, like, tries to make an example out of Sanji, just, like, does one of his, like, beastly pirate kicks on him, kicks him into a big pile of boxes.
Kicking children.
Adjusted for children, of course.
Adjusted for child strength, so,
There it is.
so presumably he didn't puke all of his organs out.
Yeah, I was going to say, like a pretty piratey move, kicking children.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be PG.
It gets very not PG very quickly.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
A rogue wave hits basically at the same time that this happens. And it carries Sanji into the turbulent sea. And Zeph, who was actually being really cool this whole time, if you really look at his behavior, he dives into the ocean right after him because that's a kid. I said I wasn't killing anybody on this ship. And then Sanji awakens and he finds himself on a massive rock with Red Shoes Zeph, stranded in the sea, unable to even fish because this rock stands like friggin' 100 feet into the air, and it's a sheer cliff on all sides, worn down by the waves. It's just a rock that they got crashed into by a rogue tsunami, basically.
Huh.
And what's more, if they tried to climb down, they wouldn't be able to get back up. And it appears that all of the ship of the Red Shoes pirates have been destroyed. None of the bodies have been found, but he's found quite a lot of the debris. He puts down a bag in front of Sanji, a small bag, and takes a big bag himself and says, these bags are all the food that we have left. We're both chefs. We can make this last. This is definitely 5 days of food, but conceivably, this could last a lot longer if you know what you're doing. Zeph says, you say on this side of the rock, little boy. I'm going to say on the other side of the rock. We are going to stare out into the ocean. If you see a ship, you will yell to me. If I see a ship, I will yell to you. And then using the teamwork of both of us screaming and waving our hands a bunch, we will get that ship to come save us. Do you understand the plan? And Sanji's like, yeah, I get the plan. And immediately is like, if I see a ship, I'm not telling that old asshole.
God, just being a dumb little kid.
Yeah, just... Especially because I got this little bag of food. He got that huge bag of food. What an asshole.
Isn't one of Sanji's like special things is he's really good at like rationing food or something?
He is. The first thing that Sanji does here is he rations out his food from 5 days of rations to 20 days. He's extremely good about that, and it pays off for him, I think. But over those 20 days, he'll be very hungry, on the brink of starvation, waiting for a ship. On the 5th day, he saw a ship, but there was a storm, and the ship looks like it didn't see them, even though he screamed and waved, and he saw them. They might not have seen him. Zeph, on the other side of the island, apropos of nothing, has declared this the end of the Red Shoe, and smashes his leg with a rock.
Oh, man.
I wonder why. It's a real mystery. 70 days goes by. Or no, 20 days goes by. Waiting for the ship. 25 days. He remembers the food that he wasted on the ship. 40 days. 50 days. 60 days. 70. He breaks, and he's going to go for the other side of the rock. He knows that old man's over there. If he's got any food left, he's taking that shit, because he still has one of his chef knives. He'll kill that old man if he has to. If he doesn't, he'll soon be dead himself. He goes over and he tries to take the food, but cutting open the bag of food, he sees it's still full, because it's full of treasure, not food. Gold. Actual, like, pieces of metal. Money. Worthless. Horrible. And he realizes that Zeph gave him all of the food that they had. He didn't portion any out for himself. And Sanji's like, well, how did you, like, survive then? And then we get to see that the leg that he smashed with the rock was because he was preparing to cut it off. That's what he subsisted on for these 70 days. They are both, like, skeletally thin.
Man.
But that's how he got himself enough calories to survive. A little bit of science for all of you. If you're in a survival situation and not suffering a grievous wound that requires amputation, don't cut off any of your limbs.
Yeah.
It feels like it goes without saying, but cutting off your limbs is very bad for you. You lose a lot of blood. Your brain goes through a lot of trauma.
Yeah, unless you can stop the bleeding, you're just doing yourself a disservice.
Even if you can stop the bleeding, your body has a much more efficient way of using those calories. And that's by leaving them attached to you so that your body can break it down. Because your body eats itself. That's why you get thinner.
Your body is... You're trying to cure the sensation in your stomach by making more pain in your leg and then losing a limb. It's just not... The trade-off isn't there, man.
It's not good. But, it's heavily thematic for this arc.
Yeah, but in the anime, it's real cool, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is
And
cool.
it is.
And it's quite thematically...
It shows his resolve.
It's directly related to the theme. Let's talk about theme again. Dying because of your diet is how this arc started. Because you can't eat is where it goes. Because you find yourself at the mercy of an insurmountable wall of your own limitations. This isn't about overcoming your limitations. This is about accepting and acknowledging them. At the end of the day, if you don't eat, you will die. You don't tough it out. It's something to embrace and appreciate. This is what it means to be alive. The food you need can make you strong, keep you moving, but you need many things to avoid sicknesses like scurvy. That's part of the core theme of this arc. The core theme of basically every arc in One Piece is family and friendship, nakama, all of the, shonen friendship stuff. But this arc is all about how each character responds, to their limitations. It tells you what you need to know about them. Sanji knows this limitation and lives his life as a chef in direct parallel with it. He feeds the hungry because he knows what it's like to be hungry. Gin was starved and when fed cried in thanks and trying to save his captain brought Don Krieg there. Don Krieg, a thoroughly evil man, serves as the anti-theme for this arc. Every theme exists in contrast to its anti-theme, and the way the characters align when confronted with the theme and anti-theme is what gives them their depth. The theme of embracing our physical limitations allows one to cultivate their life without being pulled down by that limitation. It is a truthful part of us, and to live truly as yourself is the path to growth. But, as part of this arc, Sanji isn't living truthfully. Though a good deal of this arc is about how you can overcome your limitations through family and friendship, that isn't the sum totality of a person. Sanji, by knowing the pain of hunger, the gratitude he feels towards Zeph who saved him, can't be repaid, or left behind, or changed in any way, really. On the other end, Krieg has no gratitude in his heart, and immediately betrays the people who fed him. When he failed in the Grand Line, he found another limitation. And instead of learning from it, he decided there must be a way to cheat this. He can get the log that other pirate got, and that'll hold the secret. And that Mihawk, he must just have a devil fruit or something. It's not a thing that a hard limitation on me that I need to change about. It's blah blah blah, excuses.
Yeah.
Because he can't accept his limitations. Which brings us to why the Zoro part happens in this arc and not anywhere else. Zoro wants to be the best. But frankly, we're just getting started. We're only not even 100 chapters in. He's probably one of the strongest people in the East Blue, at least according to Yosaku and Johnny. He's not run into any hard limitations or walls. He has felt the pain of hunger. He was starved and tortured for days when we first met him, but he didn't feel the limitation. He knew he'd survive that level of starvation, and his conviction and motivation was greater than his discomfort, which is Zoro's main thing. That his conviction and motivation is greater than the pain. Mm. And then Mihawk arrived. And if you didn't put together the theme of there being hard limits that we find in life from the starving desperation stuff, there is definitely a physical manifestation of the theme here. Zoro steps right up to it, ready to find out his limits, and when he falls short, he does not falter. Even to the death, his conviction is so great. He exemplifies the ideal of the theme, striking upon your limitation and letting it improve you rather than fall into despair. He has people he can't let down. He wants to repay the kindness he's been shown. And so does Sanji. 85 days in on that flashback, the ship that Sanji first saw returns and rescued Zeph and Sanji. Zeph used the remaining money from the bag that he had to buy the Barati, and they've been together ever since.
Oh, good.
And he taught Sanji how to be a chef.
Yeah.
And how to have sick kick moves.
Yeah. He taught him chef kickboxing.
Nasty kicks.
And Sanji, presumably in defiance of being taught how to cook and fight, started smoking when explicitly told it would fuck up his palate. He's like, "Fuck you, old man!"
I like it. Fuck you, old man. I love you, old man.
Sanji literally always has a cigarette in his mouth unless it's been beaten out of his mouth.
Yeah. In fact, it's one of the damage.
He usually finds it and puts it back in his
dramatically. That's how you know he's about to really land a hit.
I want to take this moment so that we can appreciate the abomination that is 4Kids TV.
Oh yeah.
And their run of One Piece.
Making it.
It's always a lollipop. Yeah.
It's a lollipop. He also has like a Joey Wheeler type Brooklyn accent.
Really bad. Yeah.
I love that voice. I love that voice.
Welcome to the Barati. Head Chef Sanji here.
Joey Wheeler.
It's just Joey Wheeler.
Yeah,
God.
It's not good.
So, hearing the kind of debt feeling Sanji has to keeping this ship a free-floating restaurant, and the Krieg pirates are only staying to steal the ship, and they're going to fuck everything up, Luffy puts two and two together, and is like, I've got it. And he starts smashing the shit out of the restaurant.
Oh, what a dick.
Sanji is letting this ship tie him down, frankly. He's dying for it, explicitly right now. Pearl is still beating the hell out of him. And this isn't the way to repay the life that was saved. If this ship is what's holding you back, Luffy will help you. And that sort of reveals to Sanji like what's really holding him back. It isn't just that he believes in this, it's that his love for Zeph is so great and that he can't allow anything bad to happen to him. He feels a tremendous guilt, but also tremendous gratitude. He decides to start fighting back, and he easily beats the shit out of Pearl, because Pearl, once again, didn't actually matter. Tarzan man with fire powers, irrelevant.
Easy. And these parental themes will come to fruition in like 900 chapters.
Oh yeah, that'll come up again. Don't you worry. Sanji's daddy issues aren't over yet.
Sanji has one of the most complex backstories.
For no reason.
Might be the most of the Straw Hats.
That's interesting.
Unless we see a lot more about some other people, it's either him or Robin.
Yeah.
So once Sanji has like gotten back up and has the fight back in him, Gin sees like this character change has happened, and he can't let Pearl just beat him to death. And even though that kind of wouldn't have happened once Sanji got back up, he was ready to just like, ice this motherfucker. And Gin takes out Pearl with a specialized tonfa with a big metal ball on the end.
Oh, baby.
And here's where we get to see what really Sanji gets paired up with every arc. Every arc doesn't just give him the third strongest guy, it will find a way to make him fight some weird martial artist that does weird acrobatic moves, similar to his own, that involve like breakdance fighting for kicking with that, like
favorite matchup.
It's pretty sick. I really enjoy it. He really gets to stretch his legs with some of these matchups.
Stretch his legs.
I meant Oda, but you know what? Yes. Gin, now revealed to be the second strongest person here, begs Don Krieg to spare the ship. Just don't take the restaurant ship. We don't have to. Like, we can use it until we get to a place and then steal some other ship. To which Don Krieg says that is pussy-ass shit. Pussy-ass behavior will not be tolerated in the Don Krieg Pirates. I'm going to shoot everybody with nerve gas.
Oh, man.
I am ordering you, Gin, to throw your special nerve gas mask into the ocean. And
oh, man, they're evil.
All of the other pirates who are like floating in the sea put on their special gas masks because apparently the nerve gas bomb is an option he pulls all the time.
Jesus fuck, dude. Just gonna gas people?
Yeah. And he ends up just firing the poison gas bomb, and Gin puts a gas mask on Sanji by force, but doesn't put one on himself because his captain ordered him. He's right. He did betray Don Krieg there. Don Krieg's orders are fucking work for Don Krieg, not be nice to some motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Don Krieg states that this death is fitting for the sin of gratitude. That this is a war, sentiment is worthless. In all ways, Don Krieg is just being the anti-theme. He will not accept his limitations. He will not learn from pain. He will not hold gratitude for those who rescue him. He will not value those who love him. Sanji and the chefs do their best to help Gin, who is actively puking up blood from the nerve gas and stuff. And Luffy faces Don Krieg for the last time.
Yeah, I see what you mean when you said this is not very PG.
Yeah.
Nerve gas is not a very PG weapon. Holy cow.
Yeah. Luffy is now fighting Krieg, and this is where we get to see like a microcosm of the theme a little bit. But more importantly, it's where we get to see all the fun little gadgets that like Krieg has. It's a lot of fun. Luffy goes into this fight just every time he approaches Krieg, he's thwarted and retreats, basically. Pulls a weapon from his wound, tries again, and this time previous weapon doesn't work, so Krieg uses the next weapon. Krieg, who's always looking for shortcuts. Luffy, who finds something that he cannot win against, so he retreats long enough to lick his wounds and learn to avoid it. Theme and anti-theme are colliding in this fight. Don Krieg has cool weapons. I really liked it. I especially liked the exploding spear at the very end.
Yeah, it's when he's got a giant spear, and that when he whacks people, it just explodes.
It causes an explosion.
Sick.
Somehow.
It's just he's just using some Dynasty Warriors style.
Yeah, it's a moose sound.
Yeah.
Wow.
But we know Luffy's not one to give up. Every time he declares he's going to whip this guy's ass, someone else tells him no. He refuses that refusal and starts throwing hands. And despite the difference in apparent firepower, Zeph believes in Luffy and tells Sanji the real heart of the matter, what makes a person strong. It's perseverance of spirit that let them starve for 85 days, come out the other side the people they are. Krieg turned tail from the Grand Line and was going to die at sea if not for the kindness that was shown to Gin. And because he lacks so deeply in spirit, Krieg can hold no gratitude. Unlike Sanji, who can't stand to hear another go hungry as he did. Unlike Zoro, who needs to become the strongest to not fail his promises. Unlike Luffy, who hates motherfuckers like this who destroy dreams for their own convenience. And unlike Nami, but we'll talk about her next time, because that's where we're headed after this arc.
Yeah.
Luffy beats Krieg in this fight after they have a pretty protracted battle. But he fights even to the point that Krieg is able to drop him into the sea. Like, at the same time that Krieg is knocked out, Luffy is in a net dropped into the ocean. He can't swim. Krieg, even being beaten unconscious, can't accept his loss, but Gin is still loyal to him, and though he has only barely gotten back to his feet with the help of the chefs, he knocks out Krieg. The Krieg pirates will start over. The willingness to start again.
Because Krieg did he's unconscious, but his body is still moving.
Yeah.
You know, the wide eyes. And
We've seen anime.
Yeah. And then the dude just comes up and does the knockout
tummy punch,
gut punch.
Yeah. The tummy
Slings
punch
him
is
over his
excellent.
shoulder.
Yeah.
Just desserts.
Even though it's Krieg is like 5 times his size.
Krieg literally is he doubles over onto Gin's shoulder, and his feet may become an inch off the ground.
He's like barely visible holding him.
Yeah. It's ridiculous.
It's cartoonish. It's One Piece.
And yeah, he's just turning around casually and shit. This is giant on his shoulder.
But now he's showing the willingness to start again, to persevere even when you're brought down by the harsh limits of your own ability or body. If you're grateful to be saved, to live on, the only way to show it is to live on still. You cannot be tied down by an eternal debt and still be living on yourself. At the next meal, once everything is settled, all the chefs immediately trash Sanji's soup and pour it onto the floor, wasting it, saying it's such trash soup. You shouldn't even be a chef. Get the fuck out of here. They tell him he's no good. He should quit. And even Zeph says, this isn't worth serving to customers. I can't believe you've cooked this. Sanji gets pissed off.
But he ate it all first.
Oh yeah, he did eat it all. Everyone else poured theirs on the floor as a show. Zeph couldn't waste food.
Because Zeph says, like, doesn't matter if it tastes like shit, you shouldn't waste food. And then he
Shouldn't
finishes
waste
it.
food, yeah.
And then he, Oppa! And then, like, smashes the plate. Yeah. He's like, but it was shit. Like,
It's fun.
Sanji bails, all pissed off, like, I'm getting out of here.
yeah.
And he basically, like, walks out the door.
The fucking voice is too good.
No, well, God, that's, like, the one moment I remember, too. 'Cause he has, like, a nickname in the fucking
Yeah.
shitty English dub or something that the guy calls him. It's like... It's something stupid. It's like My Little Nutter Butter or some shit like that, you know. And then it's it's not that. But you get the idea.
He calls them like a diminutive term that's used for eggplants.
Yeah, and
so they call him eggplant in the translation.
And in that version, while he's like breakdance, spinning, kick flipping out the door, being like, "I'm not your little butternut anymore." And it's like, it's so bad. I wish I knew the actual like nickname,
but Squash. Maybe it was
Squash. I don't know. I don't remember. I just remember that line. And him
breakdancing out of the building, being like,
angrily, yeah.
Well, oh my god!
Because like that's how like Sanji launches into the air. He doesn't spring. Well, sometimes he does, but like
mostly he does is like a hand jive.
Yeah, he'll do
like
the breakdance spin
move.
thing, and then he's like whoosh, and then he's like helicoptering. You know?
Yeah,
sick.
So Sanji leaves, and once he leaves the room, Luffy tries the soup, and he's like, "I don't know what you guys are bitching about. This is delicious and great, even like this is good." And all the chefs are like, "Yeah, we know, idiot. Like we're doing it. We're lying to him. I thought you were in on this." And he's like, "Not at all. I can't be trusted with any kinds of plans.
I'm Luffy. I have empty head.
I'm Luffy." But Sanji's gratitude, the debt that he feels, and the love he has for these people in this place, it's an anchor. It's a limitation. He's starving here. The only way to save him is for rescue to come. And frankly, they want Luffy to be that rescue. Take him to Grand Line. He's meant for bigger, different things. And Sanji is still on the restaurant ship that has been half destroyed. So he's only linearly like 15 feet away. He heard all of that.
That's a good bit.
He did flip away, but there's not a far...
He just went around the corner because there's nothing back there. It all got sank in a fight.
Yeah, he just went to smoke outside.
Yeah.
Like...
And he's outside just, a little bit weepy. He realizes what all this means and how he can best live his life. And he, thinks about that as Yosaku and Johnny return to the Barati in the mouth of a shark. I don't know if they were piloting the shark.
Oh, man.
If the shark knew to bring them there.
He's
if
just
it's
being a bro?
coincidence. But they did have to rescue Yosaku and Johnny from the shark. Like, they brought it on board the ship and dragged them out. I don't know if it was on purpose, but Yosaku and Johnny are there to report on where Nami took the ship.
Oh, I forgot about her for a second.
Yeah.
I feel like after like all that careful shit, it was just like, well, how do they get back? Fuck it, they're in a shark. I don't know.
They show up in a shark, and it turns out Nami took the ship to a real scary place. And Sanji's like, then I guess you're gonna need some help from an old friend. And he's gonna go with them.
Then they do the predator bicep thing.
Yeah, they do the you son of a bitch. Yeah.
You know what's so much worse than the English one is not Patty, the other one. It's
Yeah.
Patty and the other guy. I don't remember that guy's name.
Karn or something?
But the voice they do for him in one of the English dubs is just King Kai. Yeah. I remember that specifically because
You can't do this.
Yeah, because after they do the fucking, they pretend to hate him now or whatever, and he hears it, and then they're like talking at, well, the King Kai guy talking to Patty is just like, I can't do that voice, I don't think, but like, you're going to act your way out of a box, like talking to Patty or some shit.
You couldn't act your way out of a box.
And then later, when they're like, yeah, Sanji, get the fuck out, he's like, I know you guys was just acting. Like, yeah.
I can tell you guys was just playing around. You couldn't act your way out of a box.
No.
Anyway.
Watch it in Japanese, it's bad. Or read it.
Yeah. At least don't do the 4Kids translation.
Yeah, the 4Kids translation.
Maybe the new one will be good. I don't know.
Criminal. It's criminal.
So when Sanji and Luffy are trying to leave, he tries to not even say goodbye. But once Zeph sees him off, he can't hold back the tears, and he's finally able to express the gratitude that has bound him here for so long. He tearfully tells everybody, he stops calling them their dumb little nicknames that keep them at arm's length. He actually expresses his feelings. Everyone cries and is like, "You're going to do great things, kid. You're always welcome back here." And they all leave. And that's the end of that arc. We're going to be going into the Nami episode next. But before that, I do have to go into my favorite part of the reread. My favorite part of the reread, besides me self-filleting about all the writer business, is the Buggy One-Shot chapter cover art! We get to see Buggy fighting with the Treasure Man on his little island and fighting a crab we previously saw with Luffy and some other chapter art. It's a big old smiley face crab and it's messing with little Buggy who's all riled up. And then we see Kabaji and Moji, the second and third in command, holding a funeral for their lost captain, ready to bury the arms and legs that they have left tied up.
That's awesome.
And but also, that means there's no captain. They have to duel. And so they just start beating the hell out of each other for a whole day. Like from morning to night. They're exhausted. And then Moji's lion, Richie, he sleepwalks over and he knocks both of them out. And now the lion's captain of the Buggy Pirates. They're the Richie Pirates now.
Silly.
But oh no, the island they were hiding out on, there's natives there. And the natives captured all the new Richie Pirates. Oh my goodness, but who's that on the horizon in a new ship? It's Buggy the Clown! He's back! A real-ass boat with a hot-ass babe at his side, and he's found his old ship. Everything's coming up. Captain Buggy D. Clown, baby!
God bless. And with that, we're going to end tonight's episode. Thank you so much for listening. If you enjoyed the nature of tonight's content, go ahead and give us a like and subscribe on YouTube, and go give me a follow on Blue Sky. You can support us on our Patreon. Have a good night.
Good night, everybody.
Bye.